Hello there, lovely people. Lovely to see you. Thanks for clicking. Let's get going. So, today I want to talk to you about weekly planning because overwhelm is a big thing for me. I don't know if it is for you. I have felt so many times I've got so much to do. I can't keep on top of it. As well as that, but I hate doing some things. You know, there are some chores that you just dread. I started to dread weekends because I was leaving all the housework until weekends and it just kind of took over. You feel better once it's done though, and I like living in a clean and tidy house. So you could just say lowy standards, like my husband says. You could say, yeah, we'll just leave it. Just leave it. Don't worry about doing that. But things get worse. And sometimes you can't just leave it. I mean, how much of a pain is putting away washing? It is a pain. It's a faff. It's easy to put it in the machine. It's not that hard to put it out to dry. Putting it away just seems like a big job. I don't know why. So it is important to put measures in place so that you don't slip up and get left with, I haven't done this job for ages and now it's a worse job. It's all about staying on top of it in an organised way that makes you feel, okay, it's dealt with. So this is how I did it. This has been through a lot of trial and error and I've come up with what works for me. Hopefully it will work for you too, with a few tweaks because we all have slightly different lives. So I will be referring over to my notebook lots of times, liking the shine today, good shine. All my makeup has come off throughout the day. Just put my little girl to bed and I'm still dressed, so at least we're not in pyjamas. The face is just going to have to stay like this, that's fine. So, I started with a favourite quote, because who doesn't love a quote? An hour of planning can save you hours of doing, okay? An hour of planning can save you hours of doing. I think that should say can save you 10 hours of doing. That makes more sense, doesn't it? An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. Yeah, let's make it make sense. Because when we're not organised and everything feels too much and there's loads of things to do, we tend to run around like headless chickens and not do any of it that well. Or we do it, but we feel really stressed. So if we can calm that stress down, let's. So the first step, get a piece of paper or a whiteboard or anything you want to write on. You could type it if you wanted to. And just write down one massive list of all the chores you have to do in your house. Okay, so I'm particularly focusing on housework today. So all the chores that need to be done in your house. So it might be sweep the floors, clean the bathroom, food shopping, anything like that. Break it all down. Anything that is to do with your house and looking after it. It could even be things like pay for school dinners. If it's things that you need to do weekly, are things that we are really thinking about. Okay, the dusting, the hoovering. If you're really house proud, you might do things like go around and do the cobwebs. I do not do that, but I'll do one if I notice one. It did start off on my weekly plan and then every week I just went, yeah, no, it's fine. I've done that and didn't do it, which kind of misses the point. So you can kind of have as and when jobs. You might have to change bedding. You might have doing the washing. And that will be more than once a week probably if you are anything like in my house, many times a week. So just jot them all down in one big list. Next, you need another piece of paper. Maybe some like fancy weekly planning sheets. You can get some really nice ones on Amazon or anywhere like that, any nice stationery shop. Treat yourself to a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday planner if you want to. If you work like that, you could do it digitally if you prefer. And just make sure you've got the days of the week. If you haven't got any of that, a piece of paper is fine. Just put the days of the week on and leave a fair amount of space underneath each day. Okay, the third thing to do. So the first thing is you've written down all the chores in one big list. The second thing is you've written the days of the week. The third thing is to allocate those chores to different days. Okay, now this is where you may do it differently to somebody else because we're all differently busy on different days. You might work for yourself and do a bit of work every day, in which case you could spread things out fairly evenly through the week. You might be really, really busy on a certain night of the week and think, if I write down do the hoovering, that is not going to happen. So just don't do it on that day. Move it to a day where you've got some time. I used to do a little bit every day, and I used to actually fit things in before I went to work. Just a quick job like sweep the floor, be like, right, I've got 10 minutes before I go, I'm going to do it now, and then I can tick that off. That doesn't work anymore because now I have a baby and time is precious and it all goes to her. So I pretty much save things for the weekend now, and honestly I don't do them as well as I used to. But you know, this is the chapter that I'm in, and that's fine. So you might decide to save them for the weekend like me. You might spread them out. You might do a bit of both. So most of mine are at the weekend. Things I can't avoid, like making packed lunches, doing washing, things that pretty much have to be done every day. Put them in where they have to go. But try to be as realistic as you can. Don't know what's going on with my hair. Okay, so number 4, just have a look through, cross things out, rewrite them, move things about. You can draft it, redraft it, do a best copy. Have a look at each one and think, is that going to work? Like we've just said, it needs to be realistic. If on a Wednesday you have, for example, on a Wednesday, I finish work, then I have a staff meeting that lasts until about 5. I have to pick my daughter up at 5:30. Then it is all of the tea time, bedtime, bath time routine. And then I can't do something like the hoovering because she'll be asleep. So I'd have to think, what can I do on that night? And to be honest, I don't do a lot on a Wednesday because it's a heavy day. So I would just do like the packed lunches for the next day because I have to do that. I might put a load of washing on. Expect to be busy if you have children or you have a busy life or a full-time job. You know, you can't necessarily think, oh, well, I just want evenings to relax. You can have some of the evening to relax, but if you want to live in a clean and tidy house, you do have to put the effort in. If it was up to my husband, he would live in a less clean and tidy house and he'd be okay with that. But I want the end result of feeling calm and organised in my home because that's my sanctuary. Let me know if you feel the same. So once you've decided that's okay, it's realistic, you've kind of got your best copy, you kind of run through it as a bit of a trial and error. You might need to redraft it again. Is there a day that you're thinking, oh, I hate Tuesdays because I've put on a Tuesday to clean the bathroom and that is such a pain. There's so much to it. It takes me ages. I just can't work up to it. I always dread that. That's exactly what I felt like. I hate cleaning the bathroom. I love it when it's done, but it's just a ball ache, isn't it? So what I did then was split it up further. So I've got more than one bathroom in my house. So I just had on a Tuesday, for example, clean the sinks. And I would clean the sinks in each loo on that day and not the rest of it. On another day, I might have clean the floors. On another day, I might have cleaned the bath. Another day, clean the toilets. You can split it up because you're going to keep doing it every week. So you will keep on top of it. So if there's one that you dread, think, how can I make this easier? How can I make it a bit more pleasant? Speaking of which, when you are doing these chores, if you can put on a podcast or you can put on a YouTuber that you like to listen to or some music, anything motivational, anything calming. You might just want some silence if that's an option for you. I know I crave silence in the life I have at the moment. So yeah, make things as fun as you can. Timers work really, really well if you are not motivated. Set yourself a timer for 5 minutes and see how much you can do. I think it was Emily Norris that recommended that to me. So give her a search if you like this. You'll definitely like her. So yeah, have a bit of a trial and error. You could do a 2 weekly rota, which is actually what I've ended up doing because there were some jobs that I found didn't need doing every week or sometimes I look at it and be like, it doesn't really need doing. So when I'm at home in the school holidays, for example, because I'm a teacher, things like hoovering and dusting do need doing every week. But when I'm at work, me, my husband and my daughter are all out all day, every day. We're not here. So it comes to the weekend and honestly, it doesn't really look like there's clutter and things like that and toys and it's lived in, but dust and things like that don't really accumulate too much. So I would always wipe around the bathroom every week and things like that because we continue to use it. But, you know, use a bit of common sense. You don't want to spend your whole life dusting things that don't need dusting. If once a fortnight is enough, then that's enough. I have dust upstairs and dust downstairs on different days on my rota just because I don't want to do that much dusting in one day. So make it work for you. I don't think I've got anything else other than where to put your plan. So I have just on my notes on my iPhone, I wrote it out first, but on my notes on my iPhone I have just week 1 and week 2. And then what I do every week, I think it's every Friday, I just copy and paste whichever week it is into a new note, and then I add in any extra things for that week from my diary and my calendar, such as if I need to sort out a birthday present for somebody or if I've got to go to the dentist, I would just add that in on that day. And then every day I look at my phone and I know what's happening, but I've kind of got the fixed versions that don't change, that I copy and paste and then adapt. Then I can actually tick things off as I do them, or delete them is what I do, cross them off when I've done them. So eventually Monday is left with no jobs left, and so on. Then I get to the next Friday, I'd copy week 2 list, paste it over, add in what I need to from diary, calendar, and then carry on through that week crossing things off because I need to cross things off. So you don't have to do it that way, whatever way works for you. I've found that to be quickest and easiest because I don't really want to rewrite it every week, but you might find that quite therapeutic, so go for it if that works for you. I hope this has been helpful. Feeling like you're organised makes such a difference to your mindset, to your level of calm, because we can often think, I just haven't got time to do everything. I haven't got time. But if you really sit down and look at the time you have, you can do a lot in an hour. And yes, you have to be motivated. You have to give yourself a push. You will know if anything works for you, like music. If you can't think of anything, then try it. Put some music on, see if it works. Put a timer on, see if it works. Don't feel silly, because if you get it done, then great. Okay, so you will get more done in the time than you think. And instead of thinking, oh, I really need to do this, I need to do that, I'm just going to sit here and scroll through Instagram for a bit. I'm just going to do like the nice jobs first, the easy jobs. I'm trying to think of a nice job. I don't really have any that I like doing, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of housework, but I am a fan of a clean house. But anyway, whatever's easiest and quickest, maybe like emptying the bin, I'll just get that done. Great, I've done a job. So if it's written down, you have to do it. You can't procrastinate. You're like, right, this is for today. I have to find time to do it today. And hopefully if you've trialed it, it will be realistic. So good luck. Comments very, very welcome. And I'll see you soon. Bye.